Hey guys, it's Sarah with Makers of the Happening, and we today have decided to go on a little adventure with a family member. Our cousin Brandon has decided to take us to a local legend up here, kind of like Manchester, Tullahoma area, Tennessee. And also hit him up. He's on Instagram and on YouTube as Deadendlayne. So definitely look him up. So we just got to the cemetery. Just pulled up.
We're gonna go find the grave of Sadie Baker, the witch of Manchester.
Yep. So we're gonna go try to find her grave. And we're gonna tell you a little story about her too. Alright.
Drove all around, but
Oh, that's not that far away at all.
It's just right here off the road.
Okay, so we're looking for Sadie Baker, and she's not that far away. Oh, Waco.
See the stones, those.
Oh, wow. Interesting. I wonder, like, because all these other ones look just like hers.
Alright, I got the coins. I'm gonna leave our offering for Sadie Baker. Some copper coins, like the ones she may have been looking for.
Do you want to tell? Do you want to talk about her first?
Yeah. We'll tell her story and then we'll leave their offering. So we're at the grave of Sadie Baker. Sadie Baker's story starts with Olivia Shelton. So Olivia Shelton was the youngest daughter of the Shelton family, who was a well-known family around here back in the late 1800s. She was this young girl, beautiful. She had dark skin, emerald eyes, dark hair, beautiful, stunning knockout girl, plenty of suitors for her. Well, she went into town one day and found this lady with this disheveled cloak on, just kind of hunched over looking for coins on the ground. She went up to her, to kind of see if this lady's alright. And she couldn't get any response out of her, She's, ma'am, are you okay? Can I help you? She's getting nothing. So, and she could tell from the smell, like, oh, this lady's not been bathed, like, she needs some help. So Olivia Shelton takes her home to her family, and her sisters and her mom are like, yeah, let's get her cleaned up. So they all jump in together and get this girl cleaned up, and as soon as they take off this old nasty cloak she's got on, they can tell, like, oh, Sadie's got a figure. So they take off her cloak, and they're like, wow, she's pretty well built, and they wash her hair, and they're like, oh man, she's got beautiful golden blonde hair. And they clean her up, and they're like, she's got this fair, brilliant skin complexion, like she is a knockout. Well, the dad comes home, and he's like, what in the world? Why do we have this knockout blonde, young, 20-something-year-old girl in here that won't talk, that we're going to have to feed, and that could potentially steal suitors from my daughter? Because back then, you use marriage of your daughters to play the class game. So that's what they were hoping for. And he's like, so here's the deal. She can never go outside. This lady, because they didn't know her name yet, this lady is not allowed to be seen by the public at large. So they all agree on it. Well, it doesn't take long for Olivia, because she's been pretty and adored her whole life. She's not worried about getting overshadowed. So she's like, I'm going to take old Sadie Baker here out on the town. So she takes her out, and immediately people recognize how beautiful this girl is, and they're talking about her. And it takes no time before suitors start showing up. And they show up at the Shelton family home, and they're like, we're here for that girl we saw. Well, the mom, when this starts happening, is like, oh no. So she goes to the priest in town and tells the priest, look, this girl showed up out of nowhere. She is bewitching all the men in town, and she won't open her mouth, because I know if she does, pure evil will spill out of her. So she goes, tells the priest all this, and he's like, you know what? Being an 1800s priest, he's like, that makes total sense. She's a witch. So they go to the townsfolk, and they're like, townsfolk, we think this lady's a witch. So people in groups, being the rational animals that they are like, yeah, witch, kill her. We gotta kill her. And they're like, we're a little wary though, because we don't know how powerful she is. You know, she could be a powerful witch. We can't necessarily just go hanging her or burning her or drowning her, you know, and maybe like in this creek over here. Can't go drown her in this creek over here. Nope. What we gotta do is bury her alive and then stack stones on top of her grave so that she can't climb out. And I just realized as I said that, and I'm standing here,
Yep.
that there are stones on top of this grave.
Yeah.
I didn't see that before. Creepy. Okay, so that's what they devised to do. So they go and they pull her out of the house, this young, beautiful, unknown girl, and they tie her to the end of a pole, and they're walking her to the graveyard where they have this hole dug for her. And as they're doing it, they're interrogating her, and they get her here and they throw her in the hole. And the only word she has ever been recorded to speak is, "I am Sadie Baker." That's all she ever said. Well, that's the end of Sadie's life and story, maybe, right there. But that was where she was buried and killed, right here on this spot. That's not where the legend ends. So, old little Miss Shelton goes home a couple months later. One of the suitors that was in love with Sadie comes and says, well, I'll go with her. She's fine. She's good enough. So she marries him, and it's good, peachy for a minute, but she can't get out of her mind that he was in love with Sadie to start with. And she starts losing it. She starts looking in the mirror and she starts seeing Sadie's gold hair on her head and seeing the
just going crazy
white skin and seeing all this in her own face in the mirror. And her husband is like, she's losing it, you know. And he comes home one day and she's ripped her hair out because she said her black hair doesn't belong on her head amongst her alabaster locks. You know, she sees Sadie's face in her own. So they go to the priest and they're like, oh yeah, when we killed Sadie, Sadie jumped into her body and is possessing her, so we got to get her out. Well, they get there and old Olivia Shelton comes running out of the house screaming, I am Sadie Baker! And they throw her on the ground and they're pinning her down and she throws them off with the strength of 10 men and runs away into the woods, probably over here somewhere, who knows, some of the woods, right here, and disappears, and that's it. No one ever saw Olivia Shelton / Sadie Baker again. All right. But as the legend goes, now we're here. They say around these parts that when you come to visit Sadie Baker, you have to bring her some coins, because she was looking for coins when they originally found her. So this is our offering here on the resting place of old Sadie Baker. I'm gonna leave 3. One for Sarah, one for me, and one for old Deadendlayne over here.
No, he's got one.
He got his?
Yeah.
Oh, you got plenty. Well, I'm just gonna leave all these then, yeah.
Gave her all the change.
Here you go.
Leave her trying.
There you go, Sadie. We remember you.
Alright.
Look at this little guy next to it. That's her familiar.
Somebody's cleaned it, obviously. Like, you can tell.
Yeah.
Like, that one compared to that one.
Oh, yeah, you can read it as opposed to how these have.
Somebody's definitely cleaned that one.
Let me see. I still got the picture on my Instagram when I came here.
So this is where the legend comes from, isn't it? Is these rocks being right here.
That's what I'm gonna say. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
See, that's what threw me off. Look, it looks like the grass is almost there.
Yeah.
But it's not. I left that rose there. Oh.
Focus. Okay. Yeah. Here you get a little shout out too. Deadendlayne. Follow Deadendlayne. Instagram and YouTube. He does some videos like this too. He goes and what do you do?
I pretty much come and I like to do the folklore, but nowadays, you know, we can always find, you know, kind of like the real stories and stuff. But I still like telling the old school folklore. But
yeah,
this one right here has been a legend for many,
yeah.
many.
Do you remember this from growing up?
Mm-hmm.
You've heard about this since as long as you lived?
Yeah, we used to talk about it in elementary school, like our teachers and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
The legend of Sadie Baker. Yeah, that's really cool, man. We would have had no idea without you letting us know.
Like, I mean, if I had to guess, exactly what you said, these stones, like somebody probably come here, kids and stuff, said, "Wow, these stones were here." And
Yeah.
that maybe, I don't know, because like I don't know if there's. I don't know, like if there's a faction,
So we found out that our cousin Brandon was doing these folklore videos, and we decided, like, wow, we've got like pretty similar things going on. And then he told us about this witch, and we were like, you've got to bring us to her. Like, you know, we've been to Salem this year, been learning like all kinds of different things, these witches, and then we just found out there is a witch right here where we lived. We couldn't believe it. So we said, you need to bring us down there. We need to see it. So definitely an interesting story right there. And it's very, very interesting that it's not even that far away from us. I mean, I don't know really the full extent of how many witches were committed back then, and you know, you hear of Salem all the time, of those witches, and of New England, but this is the first one that I've heard in Tennessee. And just like, how many more out there are there, you know? So if you know, drop a comment down below, tell us about it. If you're from Tennessee and you know of other witches, I mean, I'd love to know. I'm gonna have to just look into this myself, but definitely curious about more stories like this one. And yeah, well, thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, comment below, tell us what else we should do. Maybe, I don't know, we probably got a few more things up next we're gonna do, and we're definitely just kind of staying local for right now. And yeah, see ya.